Well, welcome back to Close Enough Garage. I know it's been a while. The reason being is simply we bought a house and I've been busting ass working on this, and I've been doing a lot of making the same pieces of jewelry over and over to build an inventory so I can maybe start selling them. Now, first off, I'm going to apologize on behalf of myself. You guys see me here with my glasses. I'm still in my pajamas. I got no gems or jewels or watches on. I woke up a little before 5 in the morning, discovered that my drains were backed up again, and I've been at it since about 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. Sometime around 7:38 right now. I don't know anymore. But anyway, Close Enough Garage originally started because I hate motorcycle mechanics, even though I technically am one myself. I hate mechanics in general, and my goal has always been to help other people and help you avoid big bills at the repair shop, and get you through doing a lot of the basics on your own. As I end every video, hopefully we've helped somebody else out today. That's always been the goal. And working on this house, I realized that I've been doing a whole lot of shit around here that other people would probably really like to know how to do, and it could also save you thousands and thousands as homeowners, and help you along your way too with saving some money and avoiding getting your mouth ripped out on what everybody says is a good deal when you can just buy the tool and do it yourself. So where we're at with that right now is actually this drain auger. We've got an older septic system in this house. I've got a silver maple in the backyard. It does got some roots that have broken through the pipe going from the house to the septic tank. And while we've got a new septic scheduled to be coming in the beginning of the year, for now we have to live with what we've got. And that means about every month those roots intrude enough that they start catching the toilet paper and the other things that go down the drain and blocking it up. And then next thing you know, you go to look at the basement drain cover, which I pull back about once a week or so and check the water levels, and it's backed up. And I don't want sewage backing up into my basement, so I've got to handle it. Now, if you go out and rent a drain auger, which you can, you're looking at a couple $100 every time you have to do it. Knowing I'd have to do this every month or so, we went to China and we bought this beautiful unit here. It's a Bauer. I forget what the measurements are on this stupid thing. They don't say it on it, but it's a Bauer. It was like $300 and something. But to be able to have it, and I've already used it 3 times since we bought this house in August and moved in. It's been a real lifesaver. It saved me a lot of headaches. So that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to give you just kind of a quick-ish lesson on being able to unclog your own outbound drains. I got the cutter bit on it right now. What I've done is I've gone through with the spade. I'll show all this to you here in a minute. So actually, if I can find my camera remote, I'll go ahead and stop you right there, and I'll get you moved to a different angle so you can see what's going on, and I can do a little more explaining and teaching here. Alright, so we are in my second bathroom. You're actually in my shower right now. It's a very small space, but hey, it's a second bathroom. There it is. So, if you got a septic system, you have a clean out. And same thing with sewer systems and all that shit. If you're a homeowner, it's pretty much the same thing. It's a place for your gray water and your household waste to go once it goes down the drain. I don't want to touch around my eyes barehanded. Should really be wearing gloves and all that doing this. My gloves got torn up last time. The auger cable snagged and pulled a hand in there and tore the gloves. It's a whole thing. But what you're looking at is you've got a drain here, a clean out, whatever it's called. It follows the main line. This comes from the upstairs toilet, and it also handles the bathtub and sink and several other things that all join together. And all the wastewater in the house comes down this main pipe, right down, out into the yard, into the septic. It's got a cap on it. So you pop the cap off when it needs done, and you'll be able to tell. You'll start getting, like I said, the basement drains. I notice when everything's good, they're about this far from the level of the floor. When it starts backing up, obviously the water level gets higher, and I know I've got a problem. So I run this whole clean out setup. I go through all of this, and then when I'm done, I clean all this with bleach, and then I take a Swiffer after it, floor mop thing, and just get it all cleaned up. And then I'll go through each drain and, pour bleach into that as well. But to start, I don't know how well you'll see it. It's a little spade-shaped attachment. You're going to put this on the end of your auger, and it clicks right in. You're going to run this, and what this does is it's going to push through the initial blockage and get it to open up a little bit. What I like to do after that is we've got this wild, springy, corkscrew looking one here, which I'm about to be running again. Clicks right on. Tool to take it off with. Don't lose that. But what that does is it grabs any of the tree roots and anything else causing a problem, and it locks onto it, and it twists and kind of rips it free. And that's usually the one that seems to be clearing the blockages. I'll drop a picture right about here. It's gross, but this is the clump of tree roots that I've already pulled out of here this morning. I've got our water level back down. So what I'm doing is I'm just running it a few more times through to clean it up and check it. And as I'm sitting down here, I'm like, I keep talking about helping people with home improvement as well as mechanics and stuff like that. I've done so much work around here. I've broken up an entire nature stone floor in the garage, which was a horrible idea for whoever put it in there. Much better down to nice smooth pavement now. Much better to work on and climb around on, working on the bikes, the cars, the mowers, all that shit. I've replaced many outlets around here. Did a whole bunch of different electrical work, light fixtures, God, you name it. I've done so much around here. I've got a barn out and back, and I rebuilt the whole loft floor out there. And every time I get into it, I start thinking, it's like, damn, dude, I could have stopped and I could have just brought out the camera and did a little explaining while I was doing my work and been able to help some people. So we're going to start doing that. Once again, it's not really, I don't care about generating content. I'm never going to get big. I'm never going to get popular at this, but hopefully I can at least help you. So anyway, we're going to put this on, this grabber thing. It's going to come through, and as it twists in and it breaks all that shit up, pun intended, not intended, it's also going to wrap it up and grab it. So when you go to pull your drain auger back out, it's going to pull those tree roots out with it. Once you run that a few more times and you start getting coming up empty on this and you're not pulling anything more out, you got this little weird spread saw blade looking thing. This is going to come through, and it spins, and it kind of hits along the outside of the pipe. And as it's spinning, it chops up the roots that are getting to the edge of the system. So I've already run that. I've been through with that one more time. I'm going to come back through with a corkscrew, and I'm going to show you all how to feed that in there and how to do all that stuff. And just keep running it, keep pulling it out, keep going with it. So we're going to introduce this. I'm not going to start the auger. Mine's a manual feed, so you got to kind of grab it and pull it in. It's got a foot pedal. You're not going to be able to see it spinning, but as you hit the foot pedal, it spins the drum that contains all this cable, and as it spins the drum, it spins the cable and makes the tools work. It's like a really long, flexible drill bit. So as you're going, notice it's kind of dropping right in. Now when it stops dropping in, you can spin it a little, and it'll start drawing what you've pulled out down into the pipe. So you're going to keep doing that. I've got 50 foot here, and I've got like a 49 foot path out to my septic. So it's right on the end, right on the nose there. As it keeps pulling itself in, I know it's running through clear pipe. There's nothing blocking it. Now, My blockages seem to happen around 45 to 48 foot. There seems to be a good clump of tree roots that keeps getting in there. I don't want to mess with copper sulfate too much. That'll kill the tree roots, but it's also not great for the beneficial bacteria and the stuff that actually breaks the waste down in your septic system. So I'm just going to deal with this till we get a new septic. I'm going to keep running it this way. I think that was clean. I'm showering after this, dude. Guys, this is a disgusting job. It's no wonder the plumbers make the big bucks because, oh man, we eat well. So yeah, it's as it keeps pulling it in as you're running it and it's spinning, and you release a little bit more out and it draws it in, you know you're in clear pipe. Once it stops feeding through cleanly, you know you've hit a blockage. It may not be the blockage, it might be more down the line, but once it stops coming out cleanly, you know that you've hit a blockage. At that point, what you're going to end up doing is while you're spinning it, you're going to kind of feed a little bit back into the drum until it starts trying to pull itself through naturally through clean pipe again. Then I would just come out, give it an inch or two there, let it run in that for a second. Go ahead, give it another couple of inches, let it run in a little bit. What you're doing is you're just letting it take little bites at a time and break that stuff up. This isn't the strongest auger on the planet, but it does get the job done well. So you would keep just letting little bits in at a time once you hit that blockage, and that's going to let the auger feed through it, and it's going to let it start snagging and tearing up all the stuff that's blocking up your drains. And you know, whatever it doesn't bring out, that's fine. If it flushes it that way, that's also fine, because your septic's designed to break up and decay organic matter and push it through the tile field and turn it into clean water at the other end. That's their whole job. It's a waste holding tank, but it also is full of, I believe it's the same as a fish tank. I think it's nitrobacter, nitrosonoma or whatever. But it's beneficial bacteria, and they just get in there and they eat all that organic waste and turn it into byproducts, and the byproducts are filtered through your tile and drainage fields and all that. It's, I don't know. I don't have a sewer bill. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep feeding this through, and I will come back to you guys. I went through the basics. That's what I'm going to be doing. Once I hit a snag or I hit another nest of roots, I'll go ahead and bring that back out, and I'll show you guys the retracting of the auger line and all that, and we'll get through all this together. Alright, so what we're looking at here, and it's hard to see, I know, but there is my water level. Well, my water level is not visible. This is actually very good, because originally it was backed up to about there, which is about the level of the basement floor down here. So I've popped through. I got to sleeve and replace this pipe soon and all that, but managed to pop through and to get that water level to drain down. So I'm going to go back to what I've already filmed and refilm it, because apparently it didn't save. Alright, so welcome back to my shower. Now, I thought I had filmed this, but apparently the camera wasn't rolling for the entire 5 minutes I was talking, so that's awesome. I'm almost at the end of my line, and I'm right where my breakthroughs seem to be happening, and where my jam up seems to be every time. So usually as I'm going and I've got this rolling, the line kind of it moves and it tightens up, and it comes down to about the 4:30, 5 o'clock position. And that's how I know it's moving smoothly, and I can feed it a little more, and I can watch it kind of work its way back around and tighten up there. So I know I'm still moving through clean pipe. Now when I hit a blockage, it seems to kick it that way. So if it starts kicking, or I notice the line starts moving like that, shaking back and forth, that I've hit a blockage. So what I do then is I'll be running it, the drum's on, it's spinning, the auger's going. Now it's nice and tight for me here, but let's say I've come up to the blockage, I back it up about a foot, 6 inches to a foot. It's nice and tight, we're in clear pipe. And I would just give it an inch or two. I would give it that inch or two even once it's tightened back up against that spot, I'm going to go ahead and let it run for 10-20 seconds, and then alright, feed it another inch or two, watch it, it's tightened back up against that spot. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of allowing it to push through a little bit at a time and break that blockage up, get everything wrapped up in this that I can, and get it all clear. Now technically my job's already done. This drain's cleaned. I'm sure I'm going to auger out the rest of the roots right now because I'm almost at the end of my line. I'm about 47 foot in there. Right here. It wasn't sitting level, it was sitting kind of kicking out over here. Now it's nice and taut again, so I know it's through that little bit of roots. And once again, it's tightening up. So we're through that blockage. Now you do want to be very careful when it does hit a blockage. Sometimes it can grab, and as it's spinning, I've had that line wrap around my hand a couple of times, and it hurts like hell when it does. So be careful. No tool, no power tool that you're going to use without rest. Now see the way it's flopping there? We're against a hard blockage there. Now it's smoothed out. It's taut back against here again. Let's back it up a little bit. Let it tighten up. Just feed it an inch or two. It's starting to smooth out. So, there we go. Back it up again. I'll just keep working it back and forth and let this auger eventually jackhammer its way through. So then to retract it, you're just going to pull it up, shove it back into the drum. The way it's designed, it's going to coil all this steel line around and get it back up into the drum how it should be and ready to pull back out for you. So all there is to it. You just got to do this for about 50 foot of line. So it's fun, of course. So we are done with this job. This is the segment I was just showing you is running this again, and I've ran it through. Hit what felt like a couple of snags, but all the way through 50 foot, popped it into the tank, and there is nothing coming back up. I'm going to say we're clear. So you got your removal tool. There's a little hole located somewhere around here, right there. You stick the tool right in that, just slide your bit out. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this whole setup outside and get everything hosed out with the garden hose. Get my drain cap back on and then come through and do some deep cleaning and sanitizing. So I will at some point give a real basic tour of what we managed to get for a house and property and all that stuff. I'll notate a bunch of projects that are going to be going on. We'll be helping in the future with electrical work. This bathroom, actually, I'm going to be completely redoing. I want to push the wall out just a little more to buy some more room in here, and I'm going to knock the middle wall out between the shower stall and here. Turn this into just one big wet room with a center drain. We're going to paint it. We're going to do it horror themed, I think, because when I'm sitting down here and I'm looking at these pipes and all this other old shit, I think of the movie Saw. So probably going to do like white subway tile, white everything, and then bright blood red, blood stains all over. Hang some chains up here and there, throw a hacksaw in the corner, something like that. I don't know. White people shit. We get bored with stuff. But I'm going to be doing the basement up. I'm going to be running all new outlets through that. I've got a guy coming because you have to contract out the updates to the electric. I'm not messing with live power from the road, and we're getting updated from 100 amp to 200 amp, so that's coming within the next month. Once he's done, I'm going to be running all new outlets out here through the basement, running power through all of it. Because in the future, I'm looking at getting arcade machines, slot machines, neon lights, a nice TV, an electronic fireplace insert, because I've got a real fireplace, but I don't feel comfortable having a live fire in my house. It's just house fire is my biggest fear. So we get the electric insert, the nice LED panel on it, makes it look like fire. You can change the colors, do all that fancy shit. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of updating, a lot of changes around here. So even when I'm not working on bikes, there's gonna be a lot of videos. But there's a lot that needs done on the bikes too. I bitched before about having too good of bikes and they don't need anything. So all within about a month of each other, right at the end of the season, they all decided that they needed shit. So we'll get into that over time too. Possibly actually going to be engraving a bunch of stuff on rodeo this winter too. But we'll see where life takes us. I got to get all this cleaned up, get this sterilized, sanitized, and get on with my day. Grocery or birthday gift shopping for my daughter. She's turning 10 this weekend, so we have all kinds of stuff going on. I want to thank you guys for checking me out. Once again, as usual, do the whole like, subscribe, and share thing. Tell your friends, your mom, whoever cares about this. And as usual, hopefully we help somebody else today.